Hello and welcome to Alphonse Stylize. A number of elections take place in 1932. Due to its location and its history of occupation, the Palatinate is a special place. In this video you will learn more about the situation in 1932 and how it influences the elections. The world suffers from the stock market crash of 24th of October 1929, with the United States and the German Reich being the worst affected. The protectionist tariff policy of US President Hoover prevents a rapid recovery. German industry has overcapacity. The crisis has been dragging on for years. There's no sign of improvement. Since April 1930, centrist politician Heinrich Brüning has been ruling in a minority government in the presidential cabinet with Reich President Hindenburg, bypassing parliament with emergency decrees. The Brüning government raises taxes, cuts state social security contributions, and reduces wages and salaries in the public sector. This leads to deflation and exacerbates the crisis. In 1932, there are an average of 5.6 million registered unemployed, a rate of 29.9%. Since 1930, the political center has been shrinking. The fringes are growing, with the right wing growing faster than the left. Violence is on the rise on both the left and the right wings. On 4th of April 1932, at the start of the second round of the Reich President election, the newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger publishes a series of reports. In Carlau, a National Socialist shoots a communist. In Altona, National Socialists clash with Democratic Reichsbanner members. There are one serious injury and a large number of minor injuries. In Saxony, riots break out following election rallies held by the National Socialists, Social Democrats and Communists. One National Socialist and one Communist are seriously injured, and several Communists suffer minor injuries. In Mittweida, National Socialists clash with political opponents. One National Socialist is killed and two others are injured. In Berlin, a policeman is seriously injured by Communists. On 10th of April 1932, the 85-year-old independent Paul von Hindenburg wins the second round of elections against the underdog Ernst Thälmann of the KPD and the NSDAP candidate Adolf Hitler. On 14th of April 1932, the newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger reports the dissolution of the SA and SS by emergency decree of Reich President Hindenburg. Since neither the SA nor the SS have their own premises in Neustadt that would have to be closed, the ban is easy to implement in Neustadt without further action. In the state elections of Bavaria on 24th of April 1932, the NSDAP increases its share of the vote by 26.4% to 32.5%, coming in second behind the Bavarian People's Party with 32.6%. On 30th of May 1932, the Brüning government resigns. On 14th of June 1932, the SA ban is lifted by Hindenburg by means of an emergency decree. On 10th of July 1932, the NSDAP conducts an SA propaganda march in Neustadt. The march is fired upon in front of the Münze restaurant. 3 National Socialists are seriously injured. On 27th of July 1932, the Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger reports on criminal charges against the Hessian government for allegedly favoring communist plans for high treason and sedition and inciting hatred against the National Socialist movement. The evidence appears to be extremely flimsy. Something always sticks. On 29th of July 1932, as Adolf Hitler leaves the rally in Neustadt, communists attack National Socialists in Annweiler in the Palatinate. There are numerous injuries. In the Reichstag elections, the next day, on 30th of July 1932, the NSDAP achieve an average of 37.7% across the Reich, but 51.1% in the city of Neustadt. The NSDAP and KPD have a negative majority in parliament. On 31st of July 1932, the NSDAP wins the state elections in Thuringia with 42.5% of the vote and forms the government. In July 1932 alone, 86 people are killed, including 38 National Socialists and 30 Communists. On 3rd of August, a National Socialist is killed by a Communist in Berlin. Hitler demands the leadership of the government, but Hindenburg sticks to von Papen's minority government. The newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger of 13th of September 1932 reports on a historic Reichstag session on 12th of September 1932 at 3 p.m., led by Reichstag President Göring of the NSDAP. The Reichstag passes a vote of no confidence in the Papen government. The Reichstag is dissolved. The National Socialists campaign in the Palatinate. On 26th, 27th and 28th of October 1932, the newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger reports in great detail on page 1 about a jury trial concerning the shooting of National Socialists on 10th of July 1932. On 31st of October 1932, the NSDAP invites readers of the Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger to a night screening of the first major National Socialist film, Hitler over Germany, at the Saalbau Cinema on 2nd of November. On 5th of November 1932, the newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger reports in great detail on a speech by Gauleiter Bürkel against von Papen. In the Reichstag elections on 6th of November 1932, the NSDAP wins 33.1% of the vote in the German Reich and 45.3% in Neustadt. On 3rd of December 1932, Hindenburg commissions Schleicher to form a government. The National Socialists know how to make their presence felt, portray themselves as victims of violence and political opponents, and have a perfectly oiled propaganda machine at their disposal. This tactic works particularly well in Neustadt. The 45 to 50% of voters who vote for the NSDAP in Neustadt in 1932 are citizens from all walks of life and all levels of education. The people of Neustadt want economic recovery, stability and change at last. And they believe the NSDAP's promises, which have not yet been verified. In the next video, we will look at what is happening in Neustadt in 1932 besides big politics.